And so as they're watching, like you can see that people necessarily.
Am I live?
Yes.
Oh, hello, everyone. Welcome to Back to Basics. Are you sure? This is Dr. Vivian Asamoah. This is Back to Basics, episode 31. We are trying this for the first time, guys.
Yes, it's working.
Oh, apparently it's working. So, Donna, be my first try. All right. Donna's going to jump in. Nice to see everyone on. It is Thursday night, our usual Back to Basics on natural gut relief. We are going live tonight. Well, I wouldn't say no questions off limits because that could get very personal, but it's a great time to ask questions. We don't want to give medical diagnosis. We are just going to be asking questions about whatever you find interesting. Functional medicine, natural gut relief. Hi, Julian. Natural gut relief, anything, I don't know, supplements. What is functional medicine? Why functional medicine? Why my hair is red? Anything you want to ask about. So we're going to test this because it's the first time that I'm doing this. And Donna is going to test it and ask me a question. Hi, Kike. Dr. Oduba is on. That is awesome. So nice. So if you want to join, feel free to join. Donna is checking some stuff here. Okay. What are you pressing?
I'm trying to plug for the button.
Doing? All right. So if you guys have any questions, just ask me what questions you have, and I will just try and answer as best as I can. I was hoping to be able to live stream you guys in here. There's probably a way for me to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and copy the link. And so hopefully you guys will see it and be able to join me on here. Yes, I've posted the link. So if you guys have any questions, maybe start off by asking me if you have any questions that you have, and then we can take it from there. I was hoping there'd be some general questions for me. Let's see if we can make this. Yes, accept. Kike requested to join. Awesome. So you just requested. Hi, Kike. Yes, how are you? You requested to join. Awesome. So you just requested. Hi, Kike. Yes, how are you? You requested to join.
So can you hear me?
Good? I can hear you perfectly.
Perfect. There was a little bit of a background from the group live video. Yeah, great to see you, Dr. V. Beautiful hair. You look great. Yeah, and I've been following your work with the ED group. You know, we've been collaborating and getting that done, and you have seen some tremendous results for yourself, you know, and we've had quite some positive responses from many of the participants. And I see that, you know, you're about to kick off your PPI win-off group, which is the winning off of the acid blockers. So why did you start group visits and group coaching for your practice?
Yeah, okay, so Kike knows everything already. So she's asking me. So Kike is a functional medicine doctor as well. And she's extremely talented beyond just the medicine. She is an extremely creative graphic designer. So, and also just a very well-rounded, very knowledgeable person. So we collaborate together on the groups, and she helps me design and develop the group. So Kike, thanks for your question. So First and foremost, yes, I did lose the 10 pounds. I have 10 more pounds to go on the first elimination diet group. So I hope to just keep continuing, because I think I gained like 1 or 2 pounds last weekend. So we're going to keep going. And the elimination diet group, we've done 2 now. We're about to kick off the 3rd. It was really just a great way. We had been talking about groups, you and I, for a long time. And, you know, it's all about delivery to the patient and how do we deliver the best possible education in terms of prevention rather than just treating, you know, disease when it's already there. And nutrition being a big focus, and having Nicole on our team has been absolutely wonderful, because we've been able to bring her on to join and educate patients in terms of diet and nutrition. The elimination diet, we targeted our patients with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, constipation or diarrhea, or patients who had like suspected they had some kind of gut sensitivity issue. And we focused on the elimination diet because we were eliminating like the top 8 allergen foods. And we wanted to make sure that they didn't have a sensitivity to those foods. So it was a great way to stop all those foods and then reassess. So we had a pre-assessment questionnaire before and after. Hey, Donna, before and after. And that helped us really gauge the success of the program. And it has been an eye-opener for a lot of patients. And some patients actually realized they needed even more in-depth
support.
Assessment. Yes, support. Yeah.
Yes. And when I looked at the before, because we had a pre-program assessment and a post-program, post-elimination, just the vast difference between the symptoms people felt before they started the program and after they eliminated food. It really clicked, you know, for so many of the participants, how much food contributes to many of their symptoms, even symptoms that are outside of the gut, you know, talking about their mood, their sleep patterns.
Skin lesions, skin rashes and stuff, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, I was really impressed, you're right, I was really impressed by how many people also truly change lifestyle. You know, we have a lot of patients who said, well, I can't eat dairy anymore, and that's it. It's over. I cannot go back to
them didn't want to get off the elimination diet.
Many of them didn't want to quit elimination. They wanted to just stay on the elimination diet. Yeah. I mean, it was very helpful. For me personally, the journey was great, just seeing kind of what patients go through. And then also, I also quit coffee completely. I quit coffee, and I hope I never start. Hi, Vicky. Vicky's online. Donna's online. Kiki, I hope this was helpful. We're going to talk about the PPI program. That's the new program upcoming. Yes. And so we're going to be talking about the PPI program that is launching today. Actually, it launched, and we start our first group class on Monday. And so we've been really busy working on all of that. So that has been good.
Yes.
Thanks, TK. Thank you. Yes, we are.
Program. People are ready.
Oh yeah. It's a 4-week elimination. It's a 4-week program focused on. I mean, what questions we wanted to answer was: do you really have GERD? How long have you been on a PPI, and should you really wean off? Providing you with all the tips, and you know, from a nutritional standpoint, and also from a lifestyle standpoint as to how to reduce your symptoms.
And that really, you know, it really keys in on the fact that the quality of life for people who have been on PPIs for so long is severely affected simply because they're losing sleep. They're stressed out about, you know, the side effects, and even the, you know, some of the effects of being long-term users of acid blockers. Some people begin to see the results of that. So we're hoping over the first 30 days of this program, when they're on the program, they can have enlightenment and more clarity on how to address their symptoms without, you know, being too dependent on the drugs. Like, what are the alternatives and other choices you can make lifestyle wise? Do you need
to natural alternatives? Absolutely.
So what should people expect from you as a gastroenterologist, you know, from this program?
So I know Kiki and I spoke. This program is very detailed. We're really going into understanding what GERD really is, whether you really have GERD, when do you need the testing, when don't you need the testing. But what we want to do also is we want to make sure that patients who do need PPI, some patients do actually need to be on a PPI, don't just stop taking it. And if they're patients who don't need it and are trying to wean off, we don't want them to wean off abruptly. It is a slow wean off protocol. So we just want to provide the expertise in sort of how to do this right, so you can achieve success, right? So you can achieve success.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So this is not a journey people should go on their own. It's a
No.
It's a team effort.
It is. Hi, Donna. Hi, Vicky.
Okay, it works.
Answer questions.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
So what made you decide that you want to do medicine?
Oh, Lord.
Good one. I love it.
Medicine, I don't know that I really knew I don't think I was one of those people. I was very interested in many things, just very, very interested in a lot of things. And I'm going to be very honest, I don't have any story. My dad really said, you're going to med school. And I was like, okay. That was pretty much it. But when I jumped into medicine, I think it was well suited for me, because medicine and is really truly what medicine is. It's not just prescribing medication, but it's really that strong component of prevention, right? I put up a post today about, the strongest medication you can give is, preventing someone from ever needing it, right? That is really true. So I like the different facets of the different systems, like pulmonary, cardiology, this, that was so different. And then I like the fact that you could really work on prevention and lifestyle. And that's kind of what functional medicine has brought back to my appreciation or passion for medicine, is being able to have that holistic view of caring for somebody, Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If I may pick back on that question, so why gastroenterology? Why not cardio? Why not?
Yeah, don't ask me these crazy questions, because gastroenterology, again, probably, and I think sometimes, God just works in a certain way. Things just happen for a certain reason. Again, gastroenterology was not my choice. I finished residency, and I didn't know what to do. And I told my mentor that, I'm just going to take a year off and just kind of have babies and chill out. And my mentor was like, no, we have a spot available for gastroenterology. We're going to give you the spot. And I was like, I don't even need to apply. And they were like, no, we're just going to, you may not come back to medicine if we.
Wow.
Yeah, so gastroenterology just ended up on my lap. So, and I really enjoyed it. I really like gastroenterology. So it just happened that way. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't see you doing anything else but gastroenterology. I'm like, it's
really?
just,
You can't see me doing anything else but working on.
You're so great at what you do. I mean, it's amazing how that it's not something you actually chose to do, but the passion with which you go at it, it's just phenomenal. So
Thank you, Kiki. She says that she can't see me do anything else but work with
That is so funny when you put it that way.
I know, right?
So, how did you find functional medicine?
So there is actually still a mentor at Johns Hopkins called Dr. Mullen, and hey Nicole, and he is a functional medicine, an integrative doctor, more of a holistic doctor. So I spent quite a lot of time with him, and he introduced me to the IFM circuit. And I went to my first IFM lecture. The APC, is it, Kike? Is it the APC? What is it called? AFMCP. And I was just hooked from at that point. It was just really eye-opening for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I have a question. So many people come to you with inflammatory bowel disease who are already on biologics. So what is the likelihood that, and you're in functional medicine and many people don't want to be on the biologics. I know For me personally, it was a very hard decision to make that decision in the first place. So what's the likelihood of somebody who's been on biologics for several years actually ever weaning off or getting off of those?
So that's a great question. It really depends on so many things. I think that, going back to functional medicine and knowing your body, if you identify symptoms and you start working on them early, you start really knowing that something different is going on in your body early, that is the best time to work on things from a more holistic standpoint, right? Looking at stress, looking at natural supplements to help reduce inflammation, changing your diet, perhaps going plant-based. And I think that's the best time to really halt the disease. But sometimes if, it's gone on for a long time and now we have complication, it becomes very difficult to pull away the biologics, right? So it really, really depends. There are some patients of mine who've been on biologics for many years and they've been in remission and doing great. And when I say great, I mean not only from the inflammation in their gut standpoint, but just they're at a good place in life. They're settled, they're happy, there's less stress, they're easing into a new phase in life. And some of them have chosen to stop not only their biologics, but their treatment for IBD. It's not something that I advise, but if you are going to do that, then, stay connected with the gastroenterologist who's taking care of you so they can monitor. But I do have a couple patients who've been off treatment for about 3 to 4 years and they're doing fine. They're actually doing great. And I think we will see right now when we start biologics on our patients, we tell them it's for life. But we are seeing more and more data. We're seeing more and more studies happening about people who are, when can we potentially give someone a biologic holiday or just a biologic break? And so we're seeing more and more studies about which patients can we do this in so we make the right selection for patients. So I think it's coming. I think there will be biologic breaks. If not, people are just taking their own breaks. Biologics, yeah. Yeah. Vicky, any questions? I know Vicky's on here. I'm wondering if she has any questions for us.
I do. I have a question about acid reflux, because that seems to be, I have IBS and acid reflux. The IBS, I can pretty much keep it under control with stress and things that I do eat. But the acid reflux is really where my challenge is. Right now I am on PPIs. I did have an opportunity to kind of wean off of them. I did really great for about 3 months and then it just flared back up again. And I am in your program. I did sign up for that 30-day program, the wean off program. So I'm excited about that. So I was just kind of wondering, is it possible to just completely get off of the PPIs and not ever have to use them again, as long as the diet, you're eating the right things, doing what you're supposed to do, basically?
Yeah, no, Vicki, that's a great question. And thanks for joining the group. We're excited. I think this group online program is very different to the elimination diet one. And you'll be meeting Nicole and probably Dr. Duba on the group. It's very intense. And I think we have all learned a lot while putting this group together, actually. But yes, I think it is possible to get off PPIs for life. However, not everyone has to be off PPIs. Not everyone can get off PPIs or should be off PPIs. What we try and do is wean you down to like the lowest possible dose. And also, I think working with a gastroenterologist and a group of experts to really help identify who needs to be on a PPI and who doesn't need to be on a PPI, because there's no point suffering if you don't, it's just not going to work for you. You're a high acid producer, or there's a family history of esophageal cancer, or you personally have Barrett's esophagus. So there's some reasons why we need to keep patients on PPI, but we try and give them the lowest possible dose. And then, one question you had is it possible for me to stay off forever if my diet is great and everything? But, as we all know, your diet is not great all the time. You're going to have ups and downs in your diet, where sometimes you're doing really well and eating really healthy. And then sometimes Thanksgiving is coming and Christmas is coming. And for that whole season, you know, everyone's bringing, you know, sweets to your office or your workplace or your friends, and your diet is off for a while. So I think the first thing is, you know, identifying what natural solutions can help, right? Natural alternatives can help. And even if you have to use a PPI for a short period of time and then get off it, that's okay. No harm there, right? Because our main concern with developing the program is this long-term chronic use of PPIs, where we now see it increasing stomach infections, bone loss, hip fractures. It's that long-term use. And unfortunately, because it's over the counter, everyone can just go get it just easily because it's over the counter. So yeah, short term is okay, and maybe short bursts of it are okay, but getting off that PPI hook, you know, where you need it all the time, that's kind of the goal of the program. And so I hope we can help with that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do have one more question.
Sure.
And thank you so much for taking my questions.
No problem.
What, in your opinion, what part does sugar, like, you know, sugar, sweets, pastries, that type of thing, what part does sugar and sweets play as, you know, in does it affect the acid reflux? Is it something that makes it worse? Is it, what part does that play when you're dealing with GERD and acid reflux?
So that plays a huge part, actually. You know, when we think about PPI with acid reflux, we often think of spicy foods and caffeine, and we think of citrus, right? Citrus foods and citrus fruits and stuff. But carbohydrates, especially sugar, plays a huge role. And we'll be diving into this in a little bit more detail when we start the program, because one thing that I think gastroenterologists don't always understand is the root cause. What is the root cause of GERD? Hi, Ms. Larson. Hi, Roel. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Good. What is the root cause of GERD? Like, why do you have GERD? Why do you have reflux, right? And it's not all about because the sphincter is weak. Sometimes that's the case, but sometimes you have reflux because you have small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or you have small intestinal fungal overgrowth, and it's giving you reflux symptoms. So figuring out what the underlying cause, and that's where sugar plays a role, right? Sugar feeds on this bad bacteria. So figuring out why you have acid reflux is really, really important. Really important.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Hi.
Hi. So yes, Vicky, no sugar. No sugar for you. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Ah, see, we tried to meet up for coffee and we couldn't, so you joined me on the line.
Sorry. Hold on.
Ruel, do you have a question for me?
Where did it go? What is happening? No, I didn't have any questions right now. I luckily don't suffer with the reflux, just the IBD.
Okay. Okay. So that's good. That's good. Do you have any questions about functional medicine, gastroenterology? I think you know everything. You're teaching a lot.
I don't know everything. No one knows everything.
No one knows everything. That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we're looking forward to the PPI group. Ro, what do you think about group? Oh, well, it's actually you guys should be asking me the questions, so I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm not going to.
I will tell you, you know, I haven't been able to join in a bit just because of different things, but I do enjoy when I can get on, and I have been sharing some of these group videos with other people I know that have issues and encouraging them to join.
Oh, thank you. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, we get a lot of great invited guests, experts talking about different topics. So I think that's always helpful. Thank you very much for sharing. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, how does magnesium work in our body, and why is it so important for constipation? Why do we use that?
Oh, yeah. So magnesium, I think, is sort of like the the element that is gets the least attention but really deserves the most attention, because it has a lot of impact in terms of everything that's neuromuscular. And as human beings, we wouldn't move without nerves and muscle, right? And the nerves and muscle, not only are they like, you know, skeletal and, you know, striated muscle, but also smooth muscle that moves our internal organs, like our viscera, internal organs in the abdomen. And so magnesium is really important to trigger those nerve endings, right? And help with motility. It's important everywhere. It's important in the brain synapses, right? That brain connection, in reducing even migraines in some people. In the gut, we use magnesium for the GI tract as well, because it helps with motility of the smooth muscle and getting things out. And that we know there's so many different formulations of magnesium that work differently in different parts of the body. Even the heart. The heart also has those striated muscles. So you imagine, like everywhere there's muscle, smooth muscle or skeletal muscle needs magnesium. And we're not getting enough magnesium from food. And it's also not something that's fortified. Like you don't see added magnesium that often. So we definitely, as a evolving human race, I think that's one thing that we're missing a lot in our foods is magnesium. Yeah. And we get it a lot from like wholesome foods like nuts and seeds and things like that, which a lot of us are not, a lot of people don't eat anymore because everything is so processed, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's the benefit of magnesium.
Can you be getting enough magnesium if you're taking a multivitamin, or should there be an extra supplement?
I think so it depends on your underlying conditions, right? It depends what your underlying issues are. It depends on which multi-supplement, you know, just kind of diving a little bit more into functional medicine and integrative medicine, we noticed that one supplement is not the same as the other. One multivitamin is not the same as the other. And because some of these things are not really FDA stamped, approved, there's huge variability in what we see. So it depends on the concentration of magnesium that you're taking and the formulation as well, and how well it's absorbed. But I think most people who have issues with constipation, issues with migraines, issues with anything that's nerve or motility, probably need extra magnesium.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Even anxiety. Anxiety is another one where we actually use magnesium for patients with anxiety issue, and it helps.
So magnesium, are there different types of magnesium, meaning ones that help with constipation and ones that are just needed for those things that you just mentioned?
Yes, yes, yes. We actually did a back to basics on magnesium, and there were like 10 different types of magnesium. There are like magnesium glycinate, and then magnesium glycinate is a good basic one that I think helps throughout the body. But for the gut, you want to look at magnesium citrate and magnesium hydroxide or oxide. Those are the best ones for the gut. Citrate is the one you could probably use longer term in terms of helping with the bowel movements. But then there's magnesium threonate that's good for the heart. And there's different types of formulations that are good for different issues. And all related to how well it's absorbed in the body and how it's cleaved, how it's removed from that second substance. Like magnesium oxide basically has like an osmotic laxative effect, which is different. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes patients will say, but I'm taking magnesium for my constipation. And so I always ask, well, which type? Which type are you taking? Because not all, it won't work for the same things. Yeah, which type?
So from a gastroenterology standpoint, do you usually recommend magnesium as a standard protocol for your IBS patients with constipation? Or
we absolutely try to, because we know that with IBS there's that brain gut connection as well, so there's a component of anxiety, so giving a little bit of magnesium probably helps. I think that we kind of put together our favorite supplements that we thought everybody should be on, right? Because we're every time we check levels, it's so low. And that was omegas, so the omega-3s, vitamin D, and magnesium was on the list too. Those are basic supplements that I think even if you're not taking a daily multivitamin, you should probably be on those, because every time we check everyone, they're low on those, unless they are taking some kind of supplement. I have a question from Julian Charity. She's not on, but she did ask, what supplements do we recommend to protect the esophagus and stomach from lining from acid reflux? So the supplement that actually has been really researched is seaweed alginate, actually. And I know this because I had to do that whole presentation on GERD for the IFM, and everything we present, we try and make it evidence-based. Like there's research, not just anecdotal, but there's studies. And so seaweed alginate is actually the United Kingdom version of Gaviscon Advance. It is a seaweed alginate. And what it does is that it coats the lining of the esophagus and stomach, and it actually just sits right at that junction between the stomach and the esophagus. And then it converts acid into bicarbonate. So it almost gives you like a baking soda effect under the food pipe. And they've actually done research with seaweed alginate and PPIs, and seaweed alginate just works just as well. And actually patients get more relief from it after meals when they have acid reflux. And there are no side effects, so that's nice. Sodium alginate, yeah. Seaweed, Gaviscon Advance. So that's a good one.
Doc, if you would share a little bit about, for people with gastrointestinal issues, and as we're nearing the winter months and, immunity is a big deal right now. What are your recommendations, especially with, current infectious disease issues we're going through in the world, especially as we go through winter? I personally have a child who, tended to have, gastro issues, right, and affected his immunity and all that. So I wanted to know, what are your recommendations and thoughts?
So you're thinking of like sort of immune boosting, right, to prevent sickness. So, I mean, there's some common ones that we all know about, like elderberry is very good. Echinacea for prevention. The standard old vitamin C and vitamin E as antioxidants. But I think we're seeing some strong immune potentiating effects from reishi mushrooms, right? So certain groups of mushrooms that really help modulate the immune system. So like Designs for Health, I think, has a brand called like MycoPure that is from reishi mushrooms that really has strong effect on affecting like the immune cascade in the system. And then basic, strong boosting immune stuff like immune plants like boswellia, quercetin, and curcumin. Those are basic standard ones. Like turmeric is really great in the winter time as well. So there's quite a lot. But again, when you take a supplement, you want to know the dose, right? You want to really make sure that you're using an evidence-based dose. If not, you're just taking something, it's like Skittles, like you're just paying money, but you're not reaching the therapeutic dose where it's known to work. So you might as well just not take it. I see some patients come in with like a whole suitcase of supplements, and then you look at the dosage, and sometimes they're even duplicating. So another thing that's really important is that natural supplements are still medication. I mean, it's still a prescription. And people who practice herbal medicine, like traditional Chinese medicine, they prescribe it as a prescription, and they know which of the plants or herbs interact, which you can't take this first and then take this. Like there's a process to do it. You don't just take everything. So knowing that some supplements can cause harm to the liver, to the kidneys, can interact maybe even with your prescription medication, that's important to know as well. So you want to avoid that if possible. And just, talk to someone who knows more about prescribing supplements and botanicals. Yeah. I can hear Michelle in the background. Hey, Michelle. I don't know if she can hear us.
No, I can hear you guys.
Oh, hey, Michelle, how are you?
Hi. I'm good. I have like my entire household listening too, so
Are
that's
you
why I have it
serious?
on.
No way.
Yeah.
How's your mom and dad? How are they
Oh,
doing?
they're good.
Oh,
They're good. They were all I thought it was muted. Sorry for the noise.
Oh, no, that's okay. You only hear a background, that's all.
Oh,
Background,
yeah.
background.
My parrots are really loud too. But no, that was really interesting about the supplements and like how they're being prescriptions. I'm actually like literally like, you know, kind of telling my dad and my mom about it too, and they're actually listening as well.
So Michelle is now in the vet world. Do you guys use herbal supplements in animals, in pets?
So actually, yes and no. So there is a lot of stuff that they can do, and there's a lot of stuff that they cannot do. And because in the animal world, like it's not regulated. There's experiments, you know, of course. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, that are like you cannot give pets because it can become very toxic. So, you know, you kind of have to be careful
what you give.
Yeah, like a lot of like the medications and stuff that we use are very like they're all very like we use the same kind of Pepsid, we use the same kind of like PPIs and everything like that, because that all for the most part works really well. As far as like supplements, I actually have a doctor at the hospital that I'm with now. She does like acupuncture, and like she goes like the more natural route for treating your, like she's all about the IV fluids. We do a lot of like injectables into the IV fluids as well.
Wow.
It's a program that we're definitely launching.
Acupuncture for your cat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It works very well, especially for like cats like osteoporosis and like severe arthritis and everything. It's really interesting.
Wow, that's
acupuncture, chiropractic too. Like,
wow, that's amazing. So it's funny you bring up acupuncture, because acupuncture also works for reflux disease. There are studies on acupuncture and reflux, and actually comparing acupuncture to PPI, and acupuncture works better than PPI.
In dogs with IBD as well.
Oh, wow, look at that. Yeah, so I mean, that really goes to that whole stress and the immune system, right, with acupuncture. That's really good. Yeah, it works for acid reflux. It really does. Oh, wow, this is your pet getting, wow, your turtle getting acupuncture.
I don't know about the turtles yet. We're gonna be experimenting with a guinea pig.
Oh.
There's gonna be a guinea pig for acupuncture. No, but really, it's like a very old guinea pig. It's somebody's pet, but like one of the staff members' pets. But yeah, we're gonna try acupuncture on that next week.
Safely in a pet-friendly environment.
Safely, yes.
That's good. That's good. All right, guys. I don't want to take too much of your time. Thank you guys for jumping on this live with me. It is 7:11. We're probably going to do this. It's 7:11 on the dot. Perfect time to end. We're probably going to try and do these maybe like every quarter, so people can jump on and ask questions, and we can also use it as a space to discuss any ongoing groups and programs that we have. So if you guys haven't already registered to the PPI Wean Off PPI group, please register. Please learn more about it. It is going to be a very, very helpful and educational group for all. So have a wonderful evening, guys. Thank you guys for logging on.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hope I figure out how to log on.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.